heart of the stormy sea lies an island of misery, cursed by darkness, lost in time. Only the heroes can break the rhyme. Four must unite to restore the light. Through the trials they will fight to bring back the day from endless night.
Ladies and gents, boys and girls of all ages, welcome back to the Livendrell Chronicles, Aomake's Isle. I'm your Dungeon Master, Douglas, and this is the Dromcast, where the roles are never fudged, the lines are never scripted, and everything you're about to hear is played out straight from the tabletop. Now, pull up a chair, get a cold drink and a set of dice, and join us as we continue our story. So far, on Aomake's Isle. Wandering too closely to Dryad territory, Jed, Daniel, and Artie are captured and tried by the Dryad King. In this trial, they're faced with one question: were they predator or prey? An enormous crocodile was the challenge to be fought. But the heroes just so happen to have some help in the arena with them. A rogue named Xander Youngblood. Together, they defeated the Croc and proved themselves in the balance to the king. Released and reunited with Squibbish, a 2 days journey at last leads them to Squibbish's home, a den near a bay. Now folks, before we get into this episode, I wanted to make something really clear. These stories are never scripted, and we always play them out right there at the table. However, once in a while, we don't exactly capture them in the best quality, or perhaps we just didn't record something as we were playing it. So in this episode you're about to hear, as well as some in the future, we will be scripting them, but always based as truly to the original session as possible. So with that being said, welcome to Session 3, Home Sweet Home. After surviving the Dryad Arena trial, the heroes are guided by Squibbish to his cave, a humble but sturdy structure of rock and reclaimed wood from various wreckages of past ships that have washed ashore the island. Now, holding open wide the front door curtain of his den, Squibbish welcomes in his friends.
Please, come in, my friends. We have much to discuss.
And at last, in a safe space, Jed drops the orb out of his bag to observe it.
This orb I gained from the goblins. It seems it's not the only one of its kind.
Jed, come. Join me at the table, that we may discuss the artifacts you've stumbled upon.
All the same, I'll keep watch outside. Say my name if you need me, though.
Long ago, the four quarter gods came to Livendrell. Legends say that this is the very island where they first stepped foot on mortal ground. Each of the quarter gods holding in their hand an orb of their divine nature, a gift to the mortals, a tool to be used to evolve the world they so loved and created. One of the gods, however, did not love what his brothers created, and in time, the four gods would separate their bond, vanishing to the corners of the world, and along with them, the four orbs. I've seen each of these orbs throughout my long life, but never did I believe I would see the day the four brothers reunite.
As Squibbish says this, he takes both the orbs in each of his hands and slowly brings them together. With the glossy, crystalline material of the orb's appearance, one would expect some kind of a rattle, or a clink when they touched, but instead, in a glimmer of light, both the orbs came together as one.
What just happened? What did you do to them?
The orbs, like the brothers, were never meant to be separate. Unity is the key. The legends say that when the brothers reunite, the gates to the universe itself will be cast open. This power, the very passages between our world and the lands of Atheris where gods dwell, in the wrong hands, could be the difference between existence or extinction for all of us.
Meanwhile, just outside the door, right when the orbs came together in Squibbish's hand, Daniel witnessed a strange event.
What was that? Did you all hear that too? Noise. Something being carried on the wind.
We did.
Jed, take the orbs and put them safely in your pack, quickly. From now on, friends, this journey will be much more dangerous. He knows you're here.
May I ask who?
Aomake. His name is Aomake. A beast whom has ruled over this island. Haunted it for all these years. It seems that he's connected to the orbs in some way. In uniting the two orbs, he has somehow felt it. He will be keeping his ears and eyes in your direction now.
Aomake. I've heard that name. Artie told us about him first. But still I have no understanding of who he is.
Not a who, so much as a what. I've hardly been here longer than you, Jed, and I know very little of this thing myself.
Artie told us that he wanted us here. I still don't get it. My ship was wrecked by a storm. A wave. There was no man or creature to be seen when it all happened.
Make no mistake, young friends. You're all here by his bidding. Getting here is always the easy part, but leaving? Impossible. Of course, he wanted you here. It was no storm that brought your ship to these shores. It was no attack. It was merely the force of his wings passing overhead. He wants you alive. To stay here, it is population control. With locals dying off, unable to repopulate, he ensnares his new subjects like a spider's web.
Squibbish, maybe study your map. It seems we need to get a plan together of what we're going to do next, or at least where we're going to go.
Of course.
Squibbish, actually, may I speak with you for a moment? Just to the side, perhaps. While Artie and Squibbish step to the side to have a conversation, the other three gather at the table around Squibbish's map, discussing just what to do next. Xander being the first to speak up about an idea on where to start.
I know people that I've heard of this name before.
You think?
From the beginning?
Yeah.
Do you think it could be beneficial to find them?
What did you mean?
I mean to break this curse. So, if we can find someone that was actually there on that day that is more, nothing on you, Xander, but comprehensive to what was going on at that time.
Not very nice.
You know, if they can give us more information, maybe they'll be able to give us more, just an insight on what we're up against.
If so, we can make our way there and we can go talk to them.
If we want any chance of solving this mystery and finding justice for these innocent people, I say we have ourselves a lead of sorts.
While Daniel was invested in this conversation, he couldn't help but be curious, and just managed to catch a little bit of what Artie and Squibbish were discussing over by the fireplace. So, when we were at the hospice, you thanked me. Said I was sent. What did you mean?
My friend, things will be revealed with every new chapter of your story. But I have been you once upon a time. A great part you play. But now, just look after these men. Do well by them, and they will do the same for you in return. Unity is the only way this curse can be broken.
I'll be honest, I'm not sure I understand. But, okay. I'll do my best. Thank you, sir. As the night went on, and the heroes settled in, tea was brewed and bread is broken, and shared amongst all. And Squibbish sits outside now, gazing upon the marshy field he calls his front yard. A long pipe of blue tobacco burning, and from his fish-like face, smoke rises to the sky above. It's in this silence of night that Jed comes outside.
I had a question.
Please ask.
When you saved us in the hospice, you mentioned friends of the past. You have been nothing but helpful and kind since we've met you. And it leads me to wonder, your friends, where are they now? Why aren't they with you?
My friends. Long ago. Very long ago now. I met a group of warriors from Alderaan. Squibbish has always been, well, an outcast of sorts. Never fit in with my tribe. But these warriors found me, rescued me from the life of a slave. And together, the journeys we had. It was the greatest adventure of my life. But then, when our quest brought us to a kingdom, peace did not reign. The rebellion rose, and my party led the charge. When we found ourselves victorious, we turned to leave the city, onwards on our adventure. But when I looked back, it was just me. I was alone. My friends were nowhere to be found. Many years have passed, and in my days roaming alone, I acquired it. The Orb of Ferox.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry you had to go through stuff like that. It's messed up. But as touching as your story is, I must say, I'm glad you found this orb. But if the orbs are as powerful as you say, Aomaki must have use for mind. Like something.
Precisely. And if he can produce such suffering and power already, what he could do with all the orbs is
unimaginable.
As the night falls and the stars and moon light the darkened island, the men cozy into their bedrolls and tuck away within Squibbish's den. The night is still and quiet. That is, till Daniel is awoken by a soft sound.
I know what it'll do to me. But I've done my part. I did not succumb to you. I know if I can do it, so can they.
Daniel's eyes open slightly in response to the sound of speech. A one-sided conversation between Squibbish and an unseen other. He sits up, just in time to see Squibbish tuck a long box under his cot and stand calmly.
What time is it?
Oh, I apologize if I woke you, Daniel. It is not yet sunrise. You need your rest.
I see you're dressed to go out. Where are you off to at this hour?
Just off to fish. Early morning is the best times for quiet waters and good catches.
Ah. I see.
Worry not, friend. You'll see me in the sunrise. For now, rest with your friends. Your journey will take much.
I will do my best. Be safe out there.
Always, friend.
Squibbish takes up his fishing rod and leaves quietly through the curtained door of the den, soon disappearing through the tall marshy grass towards the sound of lapping water. Daniel lays there for some time, something inside him burning with curiosity, a feeling he was not alone in feeling.
That is suspicious, to say the least. Concerning, more like.
What are you also doing up?
Well, it's hardly been a calming journey thus far. No, nights like these are not as restful as they once were to me. Still, should we be worried?
I don't know. He said we were seen in the morning.
He may still be just less than a stranger, but he's looked out for us.
We should do the same for him.
Right.
Jed, wake up. Squibbish is gone. It's got us worried.
Huh? Where did he? Where did he go?
He said fishing, but something's off. Just seems weird the way he left.
And before he left, I think he was talking to that box under his bed.
Oh. Well. Okay, that's definitely weird. Oh, yeah. Let's go.
Do you think I should wake Xander?
Nah.
Through the glades and tall wet grass they followed Squibbish's frog-like trail of webbed feet. Silently, they strode for several minutes until they reached an opening. In front of them, the brackish waters of large ponds expands, revealing a bay. Beyond it, a calm sea. There, standing at the water's edge, is Squibbish.
Ah, there he is.
What's he doing?
His rod and bait are beside him, but he's not using them. Wait. Now he's doing something.
Squibbish picks up his small bucket of bait, but rather than securing some to his hook, he does something peculiar. He takes the bucket to the side, near where the muddy sand meets the cattails, and begins to dump the bait, a collection of earthworms, into the sand.
Your services are no longer needed. Thank you, little friends. Mine are no longer needed either. Peace be with us both.
Now what's he doing? He's
walking into the water.
He's not stopping either. Let's move closer.
Approaching closer, you see as his small body goes deeper into the gentle waves, from his feet to his knees, to his chest, and finally his neck, deeper and deeper. It's at this depth that he looks up to the moon overhead.
It's been a long journey. A wonderful tale. Wonderful people all throughout.
He turns to face you all, and you see from him a pale red glowing like a fire from within him. This light, it seems to be draining his very life force from within, though he shows no pain, but instead relief, serenity, happiness.
It's been a privilege to be reunited with my friends. I look forward to hearing of your triumph from where I will be. Thank you all.
With this, he turns around, once more facing the water, and continues calmly onward, the red light fading beneath the water's surface along with Squibbish himself. The night is once more calm and still, just the three of you facing the waters.
What just happened? What has he done?
He's gone. I think he's left us. For good.
I don't understand any better than either. But he? I don't know. Something tells me that he's not the type that would ever need to be buried. That look he gave us, there at the end, he looked at peace. He looked like he was going home. I think he knew what he was doing.
He was a strange one. But he was good to us.
Daniel then does something unexpected. He kneels by the water's edge and begins to whisper a prayer to the god Tyr. The words unclear to Artie and Jed, but in just a matter of moments, Daniel stands again and looks out over the water where Squibish once was.
Goodbye, friend.
Returning to the den once more, the three heroes sit at the wood table surrounding Squibish's map he left there. In silence, they sit for a few moments.
Sun's coming up. I suppose we should make the most of this cool morning. Let's get a head start.
You're right. I'm still just a little confused about everything that's gone on tonight.
Me as well. I still can't fathom why he was talking to that box, either.
That's right. Where was it again?
There, under the bed.
Here it is. Let's see. It reads, "Friends, I leave you in good faith and best regards. My belongings and house cannot come with me where I go, so I will be leaving them to you to do as you wish. Keep, use, sell, or discard anything you wish, but the contents of this box I ask solemnly that you take the utmost care of this relic. Treat it with respect and wisdom. Many have suffered and caused suffrage because of it, but I know you are all the ones to use it the way it was always meant to be used. Best of luck. The Aetheris watch over your path. Squibish of Alderby."
Jed lifts the box in his hands, dust caking the outside like it's 1,000,000 years old. He brushes it off and begins to open it.
Oh. It's a sword. The blade. Oh, hey, guys, look at this.
Is it made of ruby?
I can't imagine how it could be. It's all one solid piece. I've never seen a ruby of this size in my entire life.
I've never seen a ruby in my entire life.
Engravings on it. What is this language? It's not Infernal or Elvish.
I don't know. It doesn't even resemble deep speech, but it's changing.
Guys, the orb. It's glowing yellow.
Are y'all seeing this?
I think the orb is doing something to the script. Is it translating it? Jed, what does it say?
It's still changing, but becoming clearer. It says, "Forged in fires of hollowed hells, from whence thine lord of darkness dwells, priests of Fredo, to me they kneeled, the sword of souls, do now thou wield."
Well, there you have it. That is episode 3, Home Sweet Home. I really hope you guys enjoyed this. I know we did. And like I said at the beginning, while yes, this was scripted, it held very true to the original session in every way. I looked back at the original recordings and really just filled in a few things. And mostly we just kind of compensated for a bit of lackluster audio that we had available to us. But now I thought I would give us just a minute and feel free to keep listening, as this was a shorter session, as you can tell, not very action-packed, but that's the beauty of D&D. It doesn't have to be action-packed all the time. It's about the story and the experience. So anyways, if you want to keep listening, me and my friend Matt and Ben and actually Steven, which you guys don't know yet, but you will. We all hung out for a bit after recording this and just chatted for a bit, and I thought you guys might like to hear that, so here it is. And thank you so much for listening.
First of all, so Steven, you were not here for this session. You had not joined our group yet. What do you think about it based on you kind of witnessing it?
And from an outside perspective, I think it was a nice piece of storytelling. Nice, a good bit of, foreshadowing for the next part of the story.
I'm glad you were able to come hang out and help us with this process. Yeah, I usually at the beginning of the podcast, I'm always like, yes, where the story's never scripted and we play it out as we do at the table. But this is going to be in the podcast. The main reason that we had to actually script it was solely because of audio reasons, not clear microphones for a couple people, and just kind of tightening up a few loose screws that wouldn't have made for super pleasing audio experience. But Matthew, what did you think on kind of reliving this session a little bit, and do you have anything in comparison to like what you remember from the original or anything like that?
So memory, if it serves me correct, when we first played, I was extremely focused on figuring out who Aomaki was, on the orb situation. I was very focused on just kind of figuring that out. So when it came to coming back and reading, like reading obviously through this, or just kind of revisiting, it's really interesting to see little stuff there's stuff that you wrote in, of course.
Yeah.
Now, if I remember correctly, Squibbish was from a campaign previous of this that Matthew was in.
Correct.
What I love the touch right here that you're putting in is where he says to Artie up here, he says, "But I have been you once upon a time."
Mm-hmm.
And Artie's just he's exactly what Squibbish is. He's an extra NPC that's played by the DM. That's not like, he doesn't do anything but help out if there needs to be help and kind of push in the right direction. It's beautiful. I love that line because it's a super meta line. But in that context, like,
that's great. That's wonderful.
Fun. But it's nice to go back and remember things and go, you did say that? And I just totally didn't catch it because I was so in my character at that moment that Jed was not paying attention to this. He was paying attention to that. And
right.
I now, of course, am a year more invested than that Jed was, right? That was like our fifth session?
This was six.
Like
number 6.
Hour. Not like it's probably like video wise the whatever, third, fourth, whatever. But right. It was the sixth,
like the actual
session.
Yeah.
Because I went through, and this isn't your fault, it was super fun, but I went like 2 to 3 sessions just all by myself.
Yeah. I mean, pretty much. And that's kind of the interesting thing is, I mean, besides you, the campaign, it's changed completely, and it's who's in it. But I mean, that's kind of, I'm glad it worked out the way it did. I'm happy with who we're with now.
It's super fun to come back to this one too. I have this one too. Obviously for like personal reasons, just for the fact of like how it was when it happened, and it's like, oh cool, McGlather's one of my old characters. This is a person who I traveled with, but it's also just fun to kind of go back to an episode where you look at us and we're not completely battered. I mean, we are a little, but we're not.
Right.
I mean, right now we just
comparatively,
and we're like, oh, I'm so freaking tired, and not us, but our characters, you kind of almost feel that because we do a really good job of bringing it to life with what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And it's fun to be where we are because I remember it was already been me. I don't know if Steven was here. It might have been Steven. I don't remember. But it was just me and Ben and Artie, because it was the one where we blew up the tavern, and then that night we had to leave after we fought. We almost burned it down. We were trying to not burn it down, remember? And you were like,
spoilers for future episodes, by the way. Which is fine.
Yeah, just cut that out. Just bleep all that. But basically, when that happened, we got to a point. Artie was like, "Oh, this sucks." Like, and I was like, "We really just keep fucking running into bullshit." And it's funny, obviously, because that's what you want as a player. You're like, "Yeah, we're keep running." But I love the fact that our characters are all like, "It sucks a lot."
Right. There's weight to it. It's not some without consequence or without conscience.
And it doesn't feel. It's really funny because when I play, I'm like, I'm so ready to play. Let's go. And then I drop into Jed's shoes, and my brain immediately goes, "Hey, you've been attacked by fucking everything, and it's unending, and everything's going wrong." And of course, as a player, I'm like, "Yay, let's keep going." But like when we went to go investigate a house because of something that happened, and then something happened, and then we had to have a fight. When that happened, I was like, "The fuck?"
Yeah.
Leave me alone.
No, absolutely, and like it's like you were saying, we're past a year, like we've been invested in this for over a year now. We've changed in our real lives, we've changed in our characters' lives, and even like for me being a DM and like Artie's an NPC, but I play through him, so it's like it's like you were saying, I agree. It's like it certainly is not the type of campaign where you just drop in and it's like a thoughtless, like, oh, just go out, kill a few things, come home, drink a few ales. It's like, no, it's heavy. It's emotionally heavy.
That's the thing. That's the other thing about it is you didn't make it like you didn't make it a light adventure. And I don't mean that in a bad way. You just straight up did not make it an adventure where it was like, you were like, it's going to be a little dark and it's going to be kind of crazy. And that's just, there's been bits and pieces that. What's funny though is, what's something that reminds me of that? Like, so in other games, there's like other stuff that happens. You've even taken that out, and not in a bad way, right? Like, you've made it to where it's like, I mean, you can rest right now, but like, you guys all have this hang over your head. You're here, and you just did something. So the baby episode's already been out, right? The yeah, because this is recording for the one after that, right? So that's fucking dark, dude. That's really fucking heavy. Because you go to this place and, most people are like, haha, we're going to fight monsters, and we will destroy the monsters, and we will be victorious, and gold shall be ours. Whatever. And then we show up, and it's like, oh, feed me! I've been 100 and I'm 1, and I have no brain. I'm a monster now, and I used to be a person, and now I'm just gonna try.
I used to be someo's child,
So it's terrifying because you're like, hey! Like what? And there's 20 of them, but then there's also like, I'm killing a baby. not like.
No, I know.
Like, damn, that sucks. It's very interesting to go back anywhere and kind of remember where Jed's headspace was at, and it took me a minute. Like when we were reading through that, we kind of had to go, oh, let me go pull up the video, let's fly. And then when I heard how Xander brought that up, and then my brain started going, I'm like, oh, I remember being in that point, being like, I was so hyper focused.
I'm having a good time, like I said before, just kind of like reliving these sessions and kind of delving into the headspace that we were in at that time and how we approached things at that time, because so much at this point, without giving anything away, but like so much has happened since this session, like so much has changed on the island and with our characters, and we've had addition of new characters, and they've brought freaking craziness to the campaign. And
power is that he won't stop fucking sharing with everyone else.
Hey,
Jed was like,
right. Jed just no hesitation. Hey, so
I love my mission. I love it.
Yeah.
You're like, hey, I want that thing, and I was like, consider it done. Consider it done. Let me kill the big bad guy, and I'll get that for you next.
The funny thing is, you still haven't given it to him.
Well, no, because I got to use it for the thing. I would, but I got to use it for the thing.
That's the thing, though. Tarnus agreed to use it with the party, so it doesn't matter whether you do or not.
If I've learned nothing else from this campaign, is that no matter what I plan to do on the outside, once I'm in my character's shoes, I can only take so much responsibility for, like, Artie, for instance. He does his own thing sometimes, but oh man, I'm just it's funny because I can't recall. Was I still working at the jail while this was going on? Had I started yet? No. It's crazy.
Wait.
I don't think I was, because I think I was with my ex at that time. Or like, yeah.
You would just start when we started the campaign. You were still with her.
Yeah.
And you were like, I want to keep her on.
Right.
Oh, I'm gonna break up with. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, we're trying to keep players, not get rid of them. Like, I'm sorry.
It's for the life of the campaign.
And I'm going this way. Okay. And then she was in a game, and then she just was gone forever. And I was like, June 3rd. June 3rd, Ben started playing with us. And then after that, it got, like, serious.
Yeah.
And not even the next session after there was the children.
Mm-hmm. And it was only in the not this session that we just read through, but the session before it. That's when Jaden joined us for the first time. And the session prior to this with the dryads and everything. Once again, I don't know if you've listened to the podcast episode, but yeah, Chad and Alyssa were cut entirely out of it, which it ends up being a lot more convincing than I thought it would. So that's cool.
Probably because he said the N-word like 5 times.
Very possibly.
It's like, I'm not putting this on YouTube.
No. I mean, it was between that or that he didn't say much at all, and this isn't like a knock on him, but he was distracted. Yeah, they were just distracted, and just wasn't their thing,
I was like, what the heck, bro?
Yeah.
No, they didn't like it. Did they not want to play after that?
It just wasn't their thing, and that's okay,
Oh no, I'm not talking shit on how.
No, I know that. But yeah, it just wasn't really their vibe. I think Chad would probably play with a different type of group. Probably a more of a murder hobo style. I could see him enjoying that. But kind of a shift, but out of sheer curiosity, I do tend to wonder, just in a meta way, I tend to wonder what Tarnus might be doing around this time of this campaign on the island, just unestablished lore, what he might have been doing or something like that.
So, based on the lore we have recently discussed for Tarnus, honestly, I would say that he, kind of looking around the island for deals to make, potential items of power to pick up, leads, kind of research.
Doing the business,
researching and stuff. But I would say that when the orbs came together, he felt it, because you said there was a wave, so he felt a shift of power.
Yeah,
and that's what honestly gets his attention.
That's fair.
He starts making his way that direction, and honestly, my headcanon right now is when they get to the circus is when he is actually watching them, but
right
from the shadows, out of sight. until he decides that this is the moment for me to step in.
Just gathering information and
Yep.
kind of, it's always good to go into a business transaction knowing who your clients are.
Right.
So exactly. Well, yeah. So thank you so much for helping out with the script and everything like that. And I'm glad you got to
inviting me.
Yeah, of course. I wish all of us could have been here, but I appreciate you being here, and I'm happy you got to see it and just hang out and talk for a little bit because
it was fun.
It was fun. Thank you so much for listening to the Livendrell Chronicles, Aomake's Isle. I've been your Dungeon Master, Douglas, and yeah, just thank you for listening. And if you haven't already, check out the TikTok or the YouTube or whatever you want, or just listen to the podcast, share it with your friends. Also, Hudson, thank you for listening. Anyways, have a wonderful night, and we'll see you next time.
And that is all for this episode of Aomake's Isle. Have a good night.